My name is Lucia. I come from a very poor family. I work as a maid in a bakehouse 4 days a week. On the other days, I work in a small flower shop. The house belongs to Mrs. Castillo. She is a kind woman, but she works very hard. She has no husband. She lives alone. I clean her house, wash the dishes, clean the floor, and do the laundry. I like her house. It is big and bright. There is a small garden and a large terrace. On nice days, the sun shines there all morning. Mrs. Castillo has one son. His name is Carlos. He is around 28 years old but does not have a job. He lives with some friends in another part of the city. Sometimes he comes to visit his mother. He comes early in the morning and sits on the sofa watching television. When the weather is good, he sits on the terrace and drinks beer. He is quiet and does not talk much. He only says hello and nothing more. He drinks many bottles of beer. I always carry the empty bottles to the basement. There are many beer cases there. The basement is dark and cold. I do not like going there, but it is my job. Mrs. Castillo works at a factory. She leaves early and comes home late. Sometimes she calls me while I'm cleaning and asks, "Lucia, is Carlos at home? Is everything fine?" And I always answer, "Yes, Mrs. Castillo, everything is fine." Most of the time that is true. I respect Mrs. Castillo. She works very hard. She is always tired, but she never complains. She pays me on time. I feel lucky to have this job. In Canada, I worked in a small shop. Life was not easy. After my divorce, I came here to earn money. I send money to my son every month. He lives with my mother back home. I miss him every day. One morning, Carlos came into the kitchen while I was cleaning. He looked serious. "Lucia, I need your help," he said. I stopped and looked at him. "What do you need?" "I am going on a trip for a few weeks," he said. "But please don't tell my mother. She will worry too much. Just tell her I'm still here." I was surprised. "You want me to say you are at home?" He nodded. "Yes. Just tell her everything is okay. She always calls you. Please, Lucia." He looked tired. There was something weak in his eyes. I felt sorry for him. I did not want problems, but I said, "Okay, no problem." He gave a small smile and thanked me. The next morning, I saw him leaving the house with a small bag. After that, he did not return. Days became quiet. No television, no footsteps, no beer bottles on the terrace. I continued working as usual. Every evening, Mrs. Castillo called, "Lucia, is Carlos at home?" And I said, "Yes, Mrs. Castillo. Everything is fine." It was a small lie, I told myself, a harmless one. I didn't want her to worry. 2 weeks later, Mrs. Castillo came home early. I was cleaning the kitchen and felt a shock seeing her. She never returned early. "Lucia," she said, "I came home to see Carlos. Is he here?" I froze for a second. Then I said softly, "He went out this morning. Maybe he will come back soon." She sat down, tired and worried. "He never answers my calls," she whispered. "I don't know what's wrong. I just want him to find a job. I can't take care of him forever." I felt bad for her. I said gently, "He will be fine." Maybe he just needs time. She gave me a small, sad smile. Later, when I was finishing work, I went to the basement. When I switched on the light, I noticed something strange. Some beer cases were open. A few bottles were missing. There were broken pieces of glass on the floor. Carlos was gone, but someone had been here. My heart beat fast. I cleaned the mess and said nothing. Days passed. Mrs. Castillo left food for Carlos on the table every night, but every morning the plate was still full. She never knew. One morning I came to the house and found the back door open. The wind moved the curtain. The house was silent. I checked the terrace. No one. Then the basement. More bottles were missing. Fear grew inside me. That day, Mrs. Castillo called as usual. "Lucia, is everything okay? Is Carlos at home?" I wanted to tell her the truth, but I couldn't. I whispered, "Yes, Mrs. Castillo, he is here." But after the call, my hands were shaking. Later that week, I saw a tall man near the back gate. He wore a dark jacket. I couldn't see his face. When I looked at him, he walked away quickly. I felt a chill. I locked the door. That evening, I went to the basement again. The floor was wet. Empty bottles stood in the corner. Someone had been here again. I felt scared, not just for myself, but for Mrs. Castillo. I wanted to tell her, but I didn't want to break her heart. A few days later, Carlos sent a strange message from an unknown number. "Don't worry, I'm okay." That was all. Mrs. Castillo showed it to me. She looked pale. "Do you think something happened to him?" she asked. I swallowed hard. "Maybe he just changed his number," I said. "He will come back soon." She nodded slowly, but she didn't look convinced. The next morning, when I arrived, the front door was open. The sofa was moved. A small table was broken. The drawers in the kitchen were open. Someone had searched through the house. I called Mrs. Castillo immediately. She rushed home. We checked the basement together. Many cases of beer were gone. The floor was wet again. She looked at me carefully. "Lucia, did you see anyone?" I whispered. "No, only a man near the gate once." She sighed. "Maybe Carlos." We cleaned the basement together. She cried quietly that night. I could not sleep either. The next morning, I made a decision. I called her and told her the truth. Everything. The missing bottles, the open doors, the clothes in the basement. There was a long silence. Then she said softly, "Thank you, Lucia. I will come home." That evening, she arrived. We went to the basement. The blanket was gone, but the clothes were still there. "He was here," she whispered. "My son was hiding here." That night she sat in the living room waiting for him. But he didn't come. The next day she told me not to come. But I felt worried, so I went anyway. The gate was half open. Inside I heard voices. I walked in. Carlos was there, dirty, thin, tired. Mrs. Castillo was sitting across from him, crying. "Mom, I'm sorry," he said. "I had no money, no place to stay. I was sleeping in the basement. I didn't want you to see me like this." Mrs. Castillo held her face with her hands and sobbed. "You should have told me," she said. "You are my son." Carlos looked ashamed. He turned to me. "Thank you, Lucia," he said, "for helping me. I just needed time." I felt tears in my eyes. Mrs. Castillo asked me to stay for dinner that night. It was quiet, but warm. A small beginning. In the following weeks, Carlos changed. He helped in the house. He cleaned the garden. He painted the fence. Mrs. Castillo smiled more often now. One day, Carlos came to me with 2 cups of tea. "Lucia," he said softly, "thank you for not giving up on me. I want to be better." Months passed. He found a small job at a shop near the market. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Mrs. Castillo baked on weekends again. Sometimes she gave me cake for my son. "For the boy who's waiting for his mother," she said. One evening, when I finished work, I walked home slowly. The air was soft, the sky golden. Life was still simple, still hard, but peaceful. The secret was gone. The basement was empty. The house was safe. And for the first time in many weeks, I felt I had done something good, not just as a maid, but as a person. Thank you for listening. Your support means a lot. Please subscribe, like, and share if you want more stories. You are always welcome on this channel.